Hey guys, this is Cars for Days, and today I will be telling you guys a little bit about the drag racing classes here in the UK. If you know nothing about drag racing classes, then I am the man you want to come to. But if you're already a genius at this topic, like me, then anyway, please still stick around because you might learn something new. Anyway, enough with the blabbing, let's get straight to our first drag racing class. First up on our list are the Top Fuel Dragsters. So, Top Fuel Dragsters are the quickest accelerating racing cars in the world and the fastest sanctioned category of drag races, with the fastest competitors reaching speeds of 335 miles per hour and finishing the 1,000 foot runs in 3.64 seconds. A Top Fuel Dragster accelerates from a standstill to 100 miles per hour in as little as 0.8 seconds and can exceed 280 miles an hour in just 660 feet. This subjects the driver to an average acceleration of about 36 meters per second over the duration of the race, and with a peak of over 55 meters per second. Insane, right? So, second on our list, we have the funny car. A funny car is a type of drag racing vehicle and a specific racing class in organised drag racing. Funny cars are characterised by having tilt-up fiberglass or carbon fibre or automated bodies over a custom fabricated chassis, giving them an appearance vaguely approximating manufacturers' showroom models. They also have the engine placed in front of the driver, as opposed to dragsters, which take place behind the driver. Funny car bodies typically reflect the models of newly available cars in the time period that the funny car was built. For example, in the 1970s, the current models such as the Chevrolet Vega, which you can see on the screen now, or the Plymouth Barracuda, which is also on the screen now, were often represented as funny cars, and the bodies represented the big three of General Motors, Ford and Chrysler. Currently, 4 manufacturers are represented in the National Hot Rod Association: Chevrolet with the Camaro, Dodge with the Charger, Ford with the Mustang, and Toyota with the Camry. Worldwide, however, many different body styles are used. These fake body shells are not just cosmetic, they serve an important aerodynamic purpose. Today, fielding a funny car team can cost between $2.6 million and $3 million US. A single carbon fiber body can even cost $70,000 US. That's pretty expensive. So, third on our list are the top methanol/top alcohol cars. Today we will be calling them top alcohol cars just because it's easier. So, top alcohol refers to 2 different classes in professional drag racing: the top alcohol dragster and the top alcohol funny car. Commonly known as alky cars, both are akin in design to the premier top fuel classes, but less powerful. They have about 3,500 brake horsepower, I think. Yeah, that's about right. Anyway, in top alcohol dragster, the cars use supercharged engines burning alcohol, aka methanol. Top alcohol funny cars look similar to fuel funny cars, with about half the power of a top fuel car. In this class, only alcohol cars with 3-speed transmissions are allowed. Top alcohol was devised in the 1970s as a replacement for the top gas class, which was similar but burned gasoline. Initially, alcohol dragsters competed against funny cars before a separate class, top alcohol funny car, was created in the 1980s. It was within the IHRA's version of this class. Use of ethanol fuel was pioneered with great success by Mark Thomas, an Ohio farmer who became 5-time champion within that organization. Despite this, ethanol has failed to capture the imagination of racers. The majority opt for more traditional methanol. Today, both Top Alcohol Dragster and Top Alcohol Funny Car compete in NHRA
drag racing.
They are classed not as professional, but sportsman within the USA, but in Europe they are classed as a professional category within the FIA Drag Racing Championships. Top alcohol classes also compete outside of North America, most notably in Australia and Europe. In Europe, they are called Top Methanol Dragsters and Top Methanol Funny Cars. So there you have it. That's why they have two names. So, fourth on our list, we have the Pro Modified Cars. This division has specific rules about engines, components, bodies, etc. Pro Modifieds can either be raced on quarter-mile or 1/8 mile tracks. Usually, the NHRA races Pro Mod cars on the quarter-mile, resulting in high 5 to low 6 second passes, while the PDRA races strictly on 1/8 mile track setups, allowing for high 3 second to low 4 second passes. Pro Modified has only been around for about 15 years, whereas other classes are much older. There are 3 different engine combinations available for the Pro Modified category. A car utilising a supercharger, as its oxygen booster is limited to 526 cubic inches and must have a minimum weight of 2,600 pounds, including the driver. Cars utilising a turbocharger as the oxygen booster are limited to 526 cubic inches, with the turbochargers having a maximum size of 88mm each. They must also adhere to the same 2,650 pound minimum weight with the driver as the supercharged vehicles. Currently, vehicles using nitrous oxide will have no cubic inch limit, but must weigh at least 2,425 pounds with the driver. And nitrous cars use high octane racing gasoline as fuel, while supercharged and turbo cars use methanol as fuel. These engines put out an extremely large amount of horsepower, some approximately 2,500 to upwards of 4,000 horsepower. The engines propel the cars down the track at speeds over 250 miles per hour, and most supercharged engines are based on an FCA 426 Hemi engine. The exhaust system is similar to that of a funny car. Simple short header pipes bolted onto the engine block. Heads extend down from the motor and curve upwards just before reaching the ground. The exhaust pipes are visible just behind the front wheels of the vehicle most of the time. Each exhaust port on the heads has its own individual pipe. But in case of turbocharged engines, the 4 pipes on each side of the engine block converge into one single pipe, which then leads into one of the 2 turbochargers. As Pro Mod engines are almost exclusively charged by 1 turbocharger on each side of the motor, 1 turbocharge for each 4 cylinders, resulting in 2 exhaust pipes instead of 8. So, last on our list for pro racing classes are the Pro Stock Cars. The National Hot Rod Association Pro Stock Cars class emerged from the production-based Super Stock in 1970. With a more liberal set of rules and an absence of handicaps. Rules initially favoured big block V8s, but it changed to favour small blocks to factor out the Chrysler Hemi cars. In 1982, the NHRA implemented a new engine formula that allowed the big blocks to return due to the popularity of the mountain motor, IHRA Pro Stock cars, which have unlimited displacement. NHRA limits engines to a maximum of 500 cubic inches, which is equivalent to 8,200 cc. So, the engine must be manufactured by the same company as the car body, with all the raw components available to anyone for general public purchase. Engine blocks and cylinder heads are often provided in a raw condition with only approximate dimensions and rough machining. Each team will continue to machine and modify the part of their own standards. So, now it is time for my supercharged engine facts. You better watch out, cause it's gonna be fast. NHRA Pro Stock engines are restricted to a maximum 8.2 litre single camshaft, 90 degree V8. Several non-NHRA bodies have different rules. The PDRA, 8 mile, and IHRA, stanchion races in North America, for example, do not have a 500 cubic inch rule, with some engines exceeding 13.1 litre to upwards of 1000 cubic inch, 16.4 litre. These are known as mountain motors. Depending on stanctioning body and class, engines may be either 4-barrel carburetors or throttle body electronic fuel injection, and must be a naturally aspirated intake system. Those that use 4-barrel carburetors may allow them to be split, i.e. sawn in half, so that each of the halves can be more accurately positioned over the slightly staggered intake runners. The intake manifold and heads are open to modification. The most effective intake manifold configuration has continued to be the tunnel ram for nearly 40 years. The carburetors are raised above the engine. The length and the configuration of the intake passes is critical to the horsepower output. The tall intake manifolds necessitate the large hood scoop that is a signature of the Pro Stock class. The hood scoop is illegal in the NHRA because of EFI. The NHRA requires, and the PDRA Extreme Pro Stock permits, cars to use electronically controlled throttle body fuel injection systems. In the NHRA, an electronic control unit, ECU, will be implemented on the EFI systems, including a 10,500 RPM limit, with modern engines approaching 12,000 RPM. All of those facts made for some incredibly tight racing. The front runners in the class can reach speeds of over 213 miles per hour in 6.47 seconds. The qualifications round are separated by less than a tenth of a second across all competitors in a particularly tight qualifying roster. The difference from number 1 to the final number 16 qualifier may only be 0.5 seconds. So, guys, now that I have blabbered on for ages about the pro car classes, I'm going to give you guys a very brief explanation for each of our sportsman car classes. So as I read out my information, the images for that class will appear on the screen so you can see them. So guys, after too much trial and error, I'm not going to be reading out any explanations today. I'm sorry for you sad-faced people, but just toughen up and stop being. So first, we have the Street Eliminator. The Nostalgia Funny Car. The Comp Eliminator. The Outlaw Anglia. The Wild Bunch. Super Comp. Super Gas. Super Street. Super Pro ET. Pro ET. Sportsman ET. Junior Dragsters. Front Wheel Drive Drag Series. Outlaw Flat 4. VW Pro. VW Sportsman. And finally, RWYB. Wrong what? Thank you guys so much for watching. This video was a nightmare to make. I spent all night and all day making this video, especially the script. That was a nightmare to write. Anyway, all for your entertainment. I hope you enjoyed. Now, oh yeah, by the way, did you like my intro? And I'm gonna play my outro. They're both new, so is my channel. Oh well. I hope you like them. Anyway. Right. Peace out.